Hello Reborners, my name is Karen and this is Making Dolls with Karen. We have a new baby on the table. It's Jasmine. I've never made a Jasmine. She's a fairly new sculpt and she is a realborn, so she doesn't have a sculptor. She's very pretty though. She has a very, very pretty face and I think she's going to make a wonderful looking little baby. I'm going to stuff her head first thing, because if we don't stuff their head, they sometimes collapse when we bake them, and I don't like that, so I want to keep her nice and rounded head. So here we go with some rags. They're just pieces of a sheet. I just went to a secondhand store and bought a couple of flat sheets and cut them into squares. You get plenty of squares. Smaller squares work better because you can control how many you put in better that way, so you don't end up with something too big. You need something else in there, but what you have is too big. I ended up cutting all mine again because of that, because they were just too big. After you stuff a certain amount in there, you need a small one to go in there, and all I had was big ones because I cut them kind of big, and this one's kind of big still, but it's okay. She can take it. We don't want to make their head stretch or anything. You don't want to overstuff it, but we just want it to not collapse whenever we're baking them. So just put enough in there for that. If you can squeeze it like this a little bit still, that's fine. Okay, there we go. She's stuffed. Now, we're going to start with our enhancements like we always do. And I dipped my brushes a few days ago, so they should be primed up and ready to roll. I'm going to work on her head first. I like to do it that way for no apparent reason. I just do. But I hope I remember to dip my blue brushes, because I'm pretty sure they're depleted. I don't know. Anyway, here we go. We're going to try to put some enhancements on her. I like to put blue over here in the corners of their eyes. It makes a nice enhancement when you get finished doing it. She's a good candidate for some purple too. She's got a little bit of a frown on her face, and that has nothing in it. Let's try this one. Nope. I didn't dip them, I don't think. Let's see. Maybe I didn't use these yet. Well, that's a little better. She's not going to have very dark blue, I can tell you that right now, unless I break out the wet blue. And that's going to take at least a couple coats. Well. We have ourselves a conundrum here. Okay, I'm just going to dab that and see what happens. Oh, where's my little multicolored dabber? I guess I don't have one anymore. I just about tore up some of them wiping the doll. I don't remember why I wiped the doll, but I wiped it. Okay, you can't see it. I can't even see it, so it's not dark enough. But there it is. But I'm going to put some more on there in a minute. I'm going to try to swipe some on her forehead, which it doesn't really show there either. Slightly blue. But I can't get that many bristles down in the corner of her eyes to get that much blue on her. So you can actually see that blue. I'm going to kabuki it now. Well, I'm going to dab it first. I moved all my paint to this side of the table, all my brushes to that side of the table. I sort of cleaned up, straightened up my table to make it look a little more presentable. And they're clanging together because this hard kabukiing that I'm doing is rattling the jars. It's vibrating the table a little bit. Ever since I've been using my heat gun, I really think my babies have taken on a better look, because I'm not putting wet paint over wet paint, and it's just enhanced the way that they look a little bit more, and I like it. I highly recommend it. If you don't have one, that you get one. Just go online to eBay or somewhere like that and find the cheapest. It can even be a used one. It doesn't even need to be new. I paid $17 for mine, and it was brand new. And then I saw one for $12, and it said brand new too, but I think it would have been on the slow boat from China, so I didn't get it. But I'd already ordered the one that I have now before I saw that one for $12. So do your research, and you might can get one a lot cheaper. $17 is pretty cheap, though. I'm using purple next. What I want to do is, right where she's got this little bit of a frown above her brow ridges, a little bit, and a little bit down here on some of these little crevices on her face, I like to put purple. It's a little bit shadowy, and it's not blue. Sometimes we just don't want blue on our baby's face. We want some other different color. And purple's a great substitute for blue when you are afraid you're going to put too much blue on your baby. But be careful with blue and purple, because you can end up with a bruised look on your baby. You don't want to enhance them too much with either one of those colors. You do want to enhance them, though. They just look so much better enhanced than they do when you just start painting layers. A lot of people, that's all they do is paint layers, and I think it's a mistake, but that's just my opinion. So what good is mine for somebody else? I mean, y'all are here to watch what I'm doing and decide if you want to do it. And get ideas, and if you like them, you can implement them. That's what I do when I watch other artists. I watch what they do. I see how it looks, if they show enough. A lot of people don't show enough to see how they're going to look in the very end from their enhancements that they gave them. So you don't get to see that, oh, they looked real good, or oh, that didn't come out very good, or whatever. You know, you don't get to see that because they don't show you the whole process. They just show a step or two. And that's why I try to make complete videos. Okay, I know you can't see the color, but maybe you can see that under here, under her lip is shadowed. Right here by her nose is shadowed. A little under her brow ridge and a little over her brow ridge is shadowed. I don't put much purple on my dolls because, like I said, it can give a bruised look. And you don't want a bruised looking baby. Yellow is the next color I like to use. And it is one of my absolute favorites. And that's because it puts such a beautiful color on your doll. And I stacked my paint up over here. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea. I don't use true yellow because it's just too bright. And I use raw sienna. It's a brownish yellow, but it's beautiful on your doll. I love the way it looks. And I've been trying to notice for a while if I thought it showed at the end. If there was any enhancement from it that you could appreciate the difference, say if you left it out, would you be able to miss what it does? Or if you put it in, can you actually tell that it did anything at the end? And I could, at least I thought I could. It just gave them a pretty, it's a pretty tone on your baby's face. And be careful, we don't want to mix our colors together. We are doing spots of colors. See, that's her yellow. You can see that it's wet. And I'm going to just dab it around a bit and get it a little bit more spread out. I don't kabuki this color because it's so light already. If you kabuki it, it's going away probably. That looks really, really good. I know you can't see it on the camera, but when you put it on your baby, you're going to go, oh my, I like that. Maybe I'll put it all over her. I actually thought about doing that one time, but I don't do it. I have to refrain from wanting to do that. That's a color you can't really do with dry brushing because it won't really show if you do. I tried it and it just doesn't work. So now it's the red. We're down to red now. That's the color I use the most of, is red. So I have a lot of red brushes in my little thing here. Uh-oh, I'm going to knock the camera down again. Y'all going to get tired of me knocking that camera around. Anyway, with the red, I like to put blush on her face, up here on her forehead, just wherever I think I need the blush. So I don't know the state of these particular brushes. I know that some of my other brushes in the other jar have been dipped. I just don't know if these are used up, freshly dipped. I don't remember. I just know I dipped those. Anyway, I'm going to put a little bit on. Oh, yes, it's very, very, very fresh. Extremely fresh. When it's extremely fresh, it has, I'm going to try to put some, I put some on that eye. I'm going to put some on this one, and before I wipe it, I'm going to show it to you. Maybe you can see how rashy it looks. It just looks like she has a rash of some sort. That's why we have to dab it. If we don't dab it, you have this awful rashy look on your doll the whole time, and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And if you really think it's too dark, that's the blue one. Yeah, I gotta dip them blue brushes today. If you really, really think it's too dark, then you can go back and kabuki it. I'm gonna put a little bit on her nose, just a little bit, because I want to try to give her that pinkish little baby nose. We don't want to create Rudolph at all. She's not a Rudolph baby. Oh, that just gave me an idea. If you had one of them little part deer and part baby kits, I forgot, Fauna is one of them, I think, and I forgot the other one's name. I think there was two of them. And it gets around Christmas time, you can make a little baby Rudolph. This is so wet still that it's acting like you're using wet paint. It's very, very light on her face. See, it made her nose very light, very light. Most likely we're going to have to come back and do it again. I'm going to do her ears now, because this is just acting like you dipped it right into the paint. It's that wet. I must have only dipped them yesterday. Sometimes I forget. I'm so busy, so busy with what I'm doing, that sometimes I forget when and which brushes got dipped and stuff, and so I'm using them before they're really dry. It takes a while for this to really dry, a couple days at least. And that's why I have more than one jar of brushes, because I paint a lot of dolls. And don't forget, if it's really, really wet like this, you have to dab it. If you don't dab it, you're going to have rash. And we don't want that. Even if it gets really light like that, it's okay. We can do it over again. I'm going to hit her with the heat gun here in a minute. Before we go any further with her enhancements, I want to make sure her face is a little bit drier before I put red over the top of those other colors. This is the exception to my rule. Don't put wet colors on top of, unbaked colors on top of different unbaked colors on top of colors. Don't change colors in the middle of your, but this is an exception. I do the enhancements like this. Now, I'll get up here because I just knocked over my paint thinner with it a while ago, and dab that a little more. I don't want it to dry like that. Looks a little too rashy still. We're not in any way trying to cure the paint. We're just trying to get it dry enough on the face. It's still a little wet. I can feel it. Where if we apply another color, it doesn't mix with that color and make another new color. So here we go. Let's get on. face is quite hot now, so I'm going to stop. Yeah, it's hot. It feels dry too. I'm just going to give it a moment to cool off. And then, I don't know what's wrong with her fingers. They look like these are the weirdest looking fingers I've ever seen on a baby. They just look like they're curling the wrong way. Baby's fingers don't go backwards. Maybe when she comes out of the oven, I'm going to bend these fingers forward a little bit. Wrap them around something to keep them a little bit straighter, or bent a little bit more forward. She's got kind of weird looking, unrealistic looking limbs to me. They look more like what would go with an artist kit. Anyway, I'm going to try to, while I'm waiting for her face to cool down, I'm just going to try to do that little thing on the fingers that I usually do. Where, yeah, this is so light, I'm telling you, it's just super light. She's going to have 2 or 3 coats of this at this stage. Where her fingers have that little kind of, you can't even tell it. You can't even see it. It's so light. I can barely tell there's anything on her hands. I don't like these great big brushes for that anyway. I want a smaller brush. I like these littler brushes. They get into tighter spaces easier, but they run out of paint so quick. You can't even finish one hand. That one's already out of paint. Let's see. These have not made it to their stage where they hold paint good yet. Wow. This is unbelievably unbelievable. I'm going to have to do this 4 or 5 times, it looks like. This is how it looks when you use wet paint. It's very, very pale, and you have to put it on 3 or 4 times. That's why I like using dry paint, but this is nowhere near dry enough to really be using it like that. But I bet her face is cool enough now. I don't like it. It's very, very, very light. Now, if you were painting a super light baby and all the colors were going to be that light, it'd be okay, but that's going to have more coats. Okay, here we go. We're going to try to blush her up now. Let me try one of these brushes. Maybe it's a little bit drier. That seems drier. I don't know. That one seems kind of dry. Maybe I should have been using this brush the whole time. I just like to get a lot on their cheeks, kind of like that. Make them look way over red, and then you just fix it. You just dab it a little. And this is very light too, though. And then we're going to kabuki it a little to spread it. We're not trying to really diminish it so much because it's already so light. We just really want to spread it. So what we're trying to do is not see so much of the stop. A hard stop means bad painting to me. You want it to feather out and just kind of disappear a little at a time. And then it gets lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter, and then it's gone, like that. Yeah, she's going to have blush a couple times at least. Unless one of these other brushes has a little bit better paint in it, I don't know. This one seems a little darker, but that doesn't mean it is. It's because it seems that these need to be dipped again almost. Yeah, see, that one's darker. So we may come back to her face and re-blush it. I'm not sure yet. It looks like it's going to need it because she's so light. That is too light to show up later. I can tell. I'm just going to re-blush it right now. It's just not dark enough. Her nose isn't dark enough. She doesn't have any color on her lips. There we go. That's going to look a little better, I think. Well, let me get that little part of her nose right there. It's harder to get all the spots with these big brushes. They don't get down in those little tight areas on their face hardly at all. If you want your colors to show good, you have to put them on pretty dark because, well, that's just what you have to do. Okay. That's a little better. She's looking a little darker now. But I still think that we need to just hit her with the heat gun and do it again. It's just not dark enough to me. We do want to make sure that she's good and dry. She feels dry, but she's very hot. Be careful with your heat gun that you hold it away from the doll and that you don't leave it in one spot too long, because this one doesn't have temperature control like low, medium, or high or anything. It just starts out like a hair dryer. If you have it running a long time, you know your head gets really hot when you're trying to dry your hair. Well, this one does that. It just keeps getting hotter. It has a top range and a bottom range, but there's nothing to control it from going higher. But anyway, her face is pretty much done, and we're going to do her lips, and that's going to be part one of our enhancements, I think, after we do her lips. Because I want to give her a bake before, I think a bake's going to be required before I put any more on her. Well, at least a bake for her. Well, I might do her nails as well, because it's just a waste of a bake if you don't do something to the limbs. Yeah, she's cooling off, yeah. Oh, can't see that. Even though I swiped her lips with the paintbrush a little bit, it just only gave them a base of light pink. And that color was going off the lip line. The actual lip color that you're making the lips needs to be inside the lip line. You don't need to have it sticking out on any sides. But you need to get the entire lip, because if you don't, you're going to see it later and it's going to be very difficult to catch up. That's a pretty good first coat. She needs a little bit more done to her top lip because it's not quite finished, but it looks good. I mean, it's a good color and everything. Didn't get all the way up to the top of her lip line up here, so we just need to fix that real quick. There we go. If you get a little off, just get one of your pointy swabs. I have some right here, and just wipe off where you got out of the lip line. There we go, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to smooth it a bit because there's a few little places where it looks like it would turn crusty or rashy if you don't. Some of that doesn't look right. That looks good. There we go. See how you like that. I think it looks pretty good. Okay. There is a little bit right here that I want to spread out a little more. I'm very picky when it comes to the lips. I want them to look just right. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay, I don't know whether to really paint her. I haven't finished painting her hands. I think I'm just going to bake her head or something. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to just call that a stopping point, and I'm going to say please like, subscribe, and share, and happy reborning.